Good morning, noon, evening or night, depending when you're watching this video. My name is Legend and welcome back to World of Tanks and the Look Back at series, where today we take a look back at Maneuvers, a game mode which is currently ongoing as I am actually recording second iteration, but mostly we will be focusing on the first iteration from earlier this year. Maneuvers is the game mode that is pretty much the result if strongholds and clan wars would have a child. Indeed, the most apparent thing about this new game mode is that it has elements from both the Strongholds game mode and the Clan Wars game mode. But isn't there anything more special to it? And how does such a combination of these old game modes feel? Let's just dive straight into it, shall we? So a lot of new elements aren't really new at all. Logs of the clan fame point, leaderboards only with more interaction towards it. Another element that might not seem that new is the out of commission effect for vehicles that get destroyed. However, what is actually quite new within this game mode is that you can remove the status by either using individual points or that the entire catalog of out of commission tanks of the entire clan gets the status removed. This would cost quite some fame points that can result into falling short on the leaderboard for some of the valuable rewards. So competitive clans sometimes could face the dilemma to play with lesser meta tanks or use such a general clan repair ability. It resulted in more diverse teams, not only consisting out of full meta tanks. A really refreshing experience in some of the battles. Let's talk more about these statuses in the progression system. And this system featured a 95 stage advancement, where the progression points will increase incrementally. The higher the stage, the more points you earn in victories or defeats. In order to go up the stage, you have to win. In the beginning, you can do it with just winning once, but stage 95 requires at least 1000 wins. I think to make it a bit impossible since it's the highest stage after all. Also, if you lose, your vehicle will enter in out of commission state. Unlike Clan Wars, you can still participate in battles with those tanks, but with limitations of not earning or contributing fame points personally or for the clan. And you cannot gain stage points if you play with even one out of commission tank in your team. This is an excellent balance between having no real penalty and ostracizing clan members entirely from the event because they don't have enough tier 10s. It still forces you to play with as many different tanks in order to advance, unless you win everything. However, with an average 50% win rate to take into account for a balanced game, eventually most or all the tier tanks that you have will be out of commission unless you repair those. And luckily you can repair it. The status can be removed if the stage progression is resetted, which can potentially be a huge burden, or you can use repair parts, but once they're out of it, it's over. You can only regain new spare parts if you reset your stage. So maybe stage reset is something that you really cannot avoid. But it feels like a fun progression nevertheless, since with every reset you gain more repair parts in which you can advance more stages. The more stages you advance, the more repair parts and so forth. And with the reset after reset, you climb up the amount of stages eventually. And even if you are only losing and you have to repair your tanks continuously, you can stage reset continuously as well, since there is no limit for those resets. You might not climb in stage or get more fate points for every battle, But actually you only notice a slight increase in personal points after like 20 or so stages, which takes about 60 wins to accomplish. And finally, these resources, the general repairs and the stage resets, can only be activated by clan officers, giving more value to a well-organized clan with active higher ranks. So the basic rules, the only thing that was quite apparent in these basic rules is how the client for maneuvers was able to run as a division for tier 10 strongholds. This might be the first time a new game mode has integrated in an already existing client, or with the lack of better terms, that starting window in the garage where you can set up your teams. Even Onslaught is a different window tab. So this might pave the way for a general client for most, if not all, team-based game modes. And what possibilities does this give towards other clients like window tabs, such as training rooms or platoons? Rewards. All the quite standard rewards we expect from Clan Wars events, with the final amount of fame points, and clan fame points you receive bonds and the clan receives gold for the treasury. There was also a personal fame point shop where you can get clan reward tanks like the Object 907. Furthermore, there was your premium days credits, female crew, improved equipment, training guides, personal reserves and 2 and 3D styles. Also, medals and leaderboard goodies were added, and finally, if you don't have enough fame points to outright buy a reward tank, there were still auctions in which you could participate with a certain lower amount of fame points. Like I said, nothing really special here. Female crew seems quite unique as a reward, but furthermore, yeah, it's good. It's always I always like the possibility for an auction during these events for more casual clans. Clan Primetime. As a clan you can choose your own 2-hour clan primetime. Only during those 2 hours you can earn personal and clan fame points. I guess in order for no clan to get over stage 95, they could just accumulate points during the whole day, accumulating points 24/7. But I really like this addition because it featured a downtime for potential practice where stakes aren't immediately that high. I don't think we took advantage of it because most of our members don't have much time each evening to play, but it's an interesting element to keep in mind for future events. Conclusion. So maneuvers with its rewards feels like a replacement for Clan Wars. Quite like how Onslaught fully replaced the previous ranked game mode. I really like how maneuvers is handled in comparison to global map Clan Wars events. It feels more flexible and inclusive, being interesting for both competitive clans who can go for the highest spot on the leaderboard to gain the most gold out of it, but also for casual clans who through continuous stage resets can increase their fame points to the point they can attend the auctions. Like Onslaught, you can play this competitive game mode more casually, where winning isn't really an absolute must to hold your important position to get towards your goals. Of course, global map also had the possibilities to be played casually, but it feels way easier with maneuvers. So hopefully it will be the replacement for global map, or just added as a standard Clan Wars game mode at least once a year. Or, well, so far it's already twice a year. And with that, that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Laters!